Hello, everybody. Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore. And we're back for another round of the 30-day carnivore challenge. You know, they say that all good things must come to an end. Not in this case, baby. Take that, entropy. We are sticking around. We are going for it some more. We're back for another round. So here we go. Let's go check out how the first 5 days of this 30-day carnivore challenge went. Okay, everybody, Big Anklevich here, and it is Monday. And I would normally say that it is day 5 of the post carnivore challenge. I don't know. I'm still going anyways. But it's not that anymore because Marshall's decided that he wants to keep going with the carnivore challenge, or he wants to do a new carnivore challenge because he feels like he didn't carnivore challenge hard enough last time. So we're doing it again. So it's actually day 1 of the all new 30-day carnivore challenge. And so what did I do today on the first day of the new carnivore challenge? Well, I had a bag of pork rinds, or cracklins, which is the preferred ones to get if you can get them. I had a bag of those this morning because I was out and about, and I was like, you know what? They have some right over here. And so I went and bought some and ate them while I was running around doing stuff. And I wound up eating the whole stinking bag, which is probably not a good idea. I don't know. That's probably too much. But I ate the whole thing. And this left me kind of full, and so I didn't eat anything before I went to work. Instead, I went to work and I brought with me a whole bunch of leftovers. I had the leftover sausage links from our Easter breakfast, and I had leftover meatballs from the night before that when we had Swedish meatballs after we went to IKEA. And then I had leftover roast, the last of the leftover roast that my wife had made earlier in the week. And I also had a little bit of leftover omelet that we'd had for our Easter breakfast the day before. And I wound up eating the sausages and the omelet just cold in the car as I was driving to work. I don't know why I did that, but it didn't bother me. It was fine. It tasted fine. So I just ate that. I did not eat the meatballs, though. I did eat one of them, and then I was like, this doesn't taste fine when it's cold. I'm not sure if I should have eaten the meatballs, to tell you the truth. Meatballs have some carbs in them. Somewhere, I think it was like the 4th or 5th ingredient on the list was breadcrumbs. So maybe I shouldn't have eaten meatballs. But I did. I finished off the meatballs as well, and I had the roast after I'd gotten to work. Somewhere around 6 or 7. When I finally, when it was dinner time, is when I finished those off. And that was my food for the day. And feeling groovy and doing well. Let's see how Marshall's doing.
Hello there, it's Marshall Latham. Back on another carnivore challenge. This is round number 2. Day number 1 on round 2, the day after Easter. This morning, I cooked up some scrambled eggs and put some cheddar cheese in with it. And I also had 3 pieces of bacon. I was gonna have more, but I left some for my wife to eat. And yeah, so that's what I had for breakfast this morning. And I think it was about 6:45, 6:45 when I had that. And I did find actually some string cheese or mozzarella cheese sticks in the fridge at work. So I did have some of those throughout the morning. And then for lunch, I had a bunch of ham. We had a ham for dinner last night, and had a lot of ham from that, and then 4 pieces of cheese. And I think I was able to finish all that before 12 o'clock. If not, it was just after 12 o'clock. Yeah, it was like 12:15 by the time I ate the cheese. And the reason I'm giving you times is because I'm trying to eat within a short, well, I'm saying in an 8-hour window, but I would like to get to where it's a 6-hour window. That would be, so a 6-hour window would be 18 hours of fasting in between when I eat, which for me, I think it would be awesome. But I'm only going to, I'm going to kind of shoot for 18, but my goal post is 16. So that means if I eat at 6 in the morning, I can't eat after 2 p.m. in the afternoon. But if I cut that down to where I eat everything before noon, and that's assuming that I ate at 6 in the morning, which is probably about a typical eating time for breakfast, then if I can eat within that 6 to 12 window, then I'll have fasted 18 hours every single day. And so that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to attempt during this round 2 of the Carnivore Challenge. So yeah, you know, a lot has been said by many people that do carnivore about dairy. Luckily, I seem to not be affected by the dairy. I eat cheese, I have, you know, whatever else, cottage cheese or sour cream or other things that are dairy. Of course, eggs, but I think nobody really has a problem with eggs. It's more the milk-based products that they might have problems with. But so far, I haven't had any issues with cheese, and that's a good thing for me because I love cheese. I always have. Anything that's cheesy is good. And so I hope that I continue to tolerate the dairy well on the carnivore diet. And we'll just see how that goes. But that's it for today. I'm trying to make these shorter than I did the last one. I think this one's gone a little bit longer than I intended. But it is the first day, so I'm kind of setting the ground rules for what I'm doing. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow to report on day number 2. Boy, I don't know if I want to keep count. I'm just going to do it daily. I'm not going to tell you what day it is, because I'm going to get it goofed up like I did last time. Anyway, talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Marshall. So there you go. That's day 1. All right, everybody. It is Tuesday, which is the second day of me and Marshall's second competition, although it's not really a competition this time around. It's just us doing it both. He did challenge me to eat head cheese, and so I had to challenge him to eat sardines, which I think means I have to eat both of those too. But anyways, today was a good day. What did I have? I had a big sausage, a sausage with jalapenos and stuff in it that we get from Aldi. It's pretty tasty, a little spicy, and I'm not sure if I should be eating something that spicy. Maybe I ought to quit it with that one. I don't know. After eating that, I had myself 6 eggs with half a little tube of chorizo in it. That was pretty tasty, also spicy. So I don't know, maybe I overspiced myself. We'll have to see. Yeah, that was my day today. Let's see what Marshall did.
Already, I'm off the schedule. I haven't eaten anything non-carnivore, so I'm not off track. But I didn't keep my 6-hour window today. All intentions were to follow what I was trying to do. But I got up this morning, went to work. I ate about 7:15 in the morning. I just, again, had fried eggs with a bunch of ham, real ham, not packaged ham or sliced ham or anything like that. Real ham from leftovers from Easter. And ate that on the way to work. It was really good. Enjoyed it quite a bit. I brought with me some pork rinds and some jerky. And then for lunch, I was going to have steakums. The ruling is still out on whether steakums are good or not. I first was reminded that they even existed when I was watching, I think, Nisha Loves It YouTube channel. She's Dr. Barry's wife, and she was going through the typical things that she eats on a weekly basis, and she talked about steakums. I thought, oh, I'll have to try those out. And there's 2 different kinds of steakums. There's just regular steakums, and then there's Angus steakums. And my wife, when she was out, I said, hey, if you see them, grab them, let me know. So she was at the store. She sent me a picture. She goes, do you want me to get the Angus steakums or do you want me to get the regular steakums? I said, well, let's try both of them. And when you open the package, there's these tiny thin strips of meat about this big, separated by paper. And it's really thin, like super thin. And you can put it in a frying pan and fry it up. And I tried the regular steakums first. This was the first time around, like weeks ago when I was doing the first challenge. And I started cooking the steakums and it smelt really bad. Like, I don't know, dirty socks, bad meat. I don't know. It did smell really bad. I had put some soy sauce, I think, and something else in there with it to give it some flavor. And it just stunk up the kitchen. Everybody was coming in saying, oh, what's that smell? And I tried a little bit of it and it tasted bad too. So I didn't eat those steakums that day. And I thought, wow, these are really bad. And I didn't want to taste it, but the next day or a couple days later, I said, well, I'm going to try the Angus ones, see if they're any better. And so I fried up, I think, one or two. Well, they come in the tiny thin things. I think there might be two in there, but the idea is they're really thin. You're supposed to cook them up and then use them like a cheese steak sandwich kind of thing. But you don't have to put them in a sandwich. And so I cooked up the Angus. I didn't have anything with it. I just cooked it up. No sauces, no anything. And so that seemed to work. And it didn't taste too bad. So I thought, oh, well, maybe these Angus ones are good, but the regular ones aren't. So anyway, last night I cooked up the rest of the Angus ones. Probably too much. But I decided, well, I'm going to either eat it or not. So I'm going to cook them all up. So I cooked them all up in bacon grease. And so I brought those and a bunch of shredded cheese to melt over the top of it. But after I got to work and was trying to do stuff, I just had a bad headache. And I couldn't get rid of it all morning. And so about 12:30, I said, you know what? I'm not going to get anything done. So I came home early from work and slept for a couple of hours, which seemed to help. I took some ibuprofen and whatnot earlier, and that wasn't helping. So that seemed to make me feel better. But by the time I woke up or whatever, it was past my 6-hour window, or even an 8-hour window, I think. So I didn't make it, but I did end up eating all of the steakums with the cheese melted on top, and it was all right. I'm probably not going to buy steakums again. It wasn't that good. So Nisha might love it, but I don't. I still have the rest, though, of those the original steakums, or the normal steakums. I might give it another shot again, but if it smells bad when I start cooking it, it's all going in the garbage. Just some things work, some things don't. As far as the nutrition of it, it's definitely carnivore. It's the only ingredient is beef. And so as far as whether it's carnivore, that's all good. But yeah, I this time around, I did not cook it in soy sauce or any other flavoring, because that's probably not true carnivore either. Bacon grease, hey, that works. But it does make its own grease. It has its own stuff so you don't have to cook it in bacon grease, but everything's better in bacon grease, right? So there you go. There's day number 2. I didn't make my window, but every day can't be perfect. I don't know why I had such a bad headache, why I didn't feel good. It could be because of the sugar that I ate over the weekend. So now I'm going through withdrawals, but I didn't really go through withdrawals before the first time I did the carnivore challenge. But maybe that's it. Maybe my body had that sugar in its system over the weekend and said, I want more, or what are you trying to do to me? So I don't know if the headache was even related to the carnivore or my diet at all. It could have just been a headache. from whatever reason. Maybe I didn't sleep as well as I thought last night. So those are the things that when you're doing the carnivore, if I did it all the time, if that was just my way of life, then I could probably gauge those things. But, my second day into starting the carnivore challenge again and doing the intermittent fasting every day, I don't know if the headache was related. I guess we'll see if it continues or not. But I feel better now after I got some sleep. And yeah, sorry, this has gone for over 7 minutes now. I need to make these shorter. But I'll be back tomorrow to talk about day 3.
All right, there you go. Thanks, Marshall. And we'll see you guys next time. Hey, everybody, it's Big Anklevich, and it is Wednesday, which is day 3 of the new 30-day challenge with Marshall Latham. And today was a pretty simple day. All I had to eat was some ground beef. I just took the whole 5-pound chub of ground beef and I cooked it up today. And I took it with me to work and I ate a bunch of it there. Before I left for work, I had a little bit of it. And I also had some ham, some lunch meat ham that was sitting around. And yeah, that's all I ate today was like a pound of ground beef and a little bit of ham. And I'm doing fine. My stomach is killing me today. Got gas pains going on and I'm afraid that it might be because of those meatballs that I ate a couple of days ago. Because I know that one of the ingredients in there was breadcrumbs. And I just thought, should I eat these? And the first day on Saturday night, I think when we actually had them, I didn't eat any of them really. But then later I finished them off and probably shouldn't have done that. I think the bacteria in my stomach is busy trying to ferment that stuff and it's giving me all sorts of issues. So yeah, that's how today's going. We'll see if things clear up by tomorrow. But first, let's see what Marshall Latham did today.
Things were better today. I didn't have a headache. I didn't have to go home and sleep or anything like that. I got up this morning and cooked up some sausage links and cooked up some fried eggs and had that for dinner. Had that for breakfast. It was pretty good. I had 4 eggs. I don't know, 5 or 6 sausage links. And then I went into work. And for lunch, my wife made some of the cream cheese fluff stuff. Now, the only thing in that would probably not be considered carnivore is the artificial sugar or sweetener in there. It's stevia. It's from one of those evil plants. And so, I don't know, that's kind of borderline, but it tastes good. I haven't had it for a while, so I had a little jar of that. Later in the day, I had some pork rinds also, and now the tough part was I already had a lunch planned. I had hot dogs, and then I looked and I saw that I had 2 meetings back to back, and it was right around lunchtime. And then I found out that one of the people that were coming to the meeting was bringing lunch for everybody. I thought, oh, well, this could be interesting. Let's see what comes for lunch. And it was pizza, of course, and it was really good pizza. Well, I've had it before, so I know it's really good pizza. And so that was pretty tempting. I went through and I looked, and there was nothing. There was some salads, but that's not carnivore. There was like a meat lover's pizza. And so I took a piece of pizza and I just ate the toppings off of it. And then before the meeting was over, I went back and I got another piece of pizza and just ate the toppings off of it. Well, the cheese and the meat from it. Of course I did get some residual tomato sauce in there, more of that evil tomatoes in there, but I don't know. I don't think there was enough. I didn't sit there and eat all the sauce. I didn't eat any of the crust. And so I felt okay with doing that. And the meeting was over. And a little bit later, I had my hot dogs with cheese melted on it. And I did eat within a 6-hour window anyway today. So I think I did pretty good. I probably didn't need to eat the hot dogs after I already had the pizza tops. But I don't know, it was there. I still have some cheese left over. I didn't eat all the cheese that I had. So yeah, that's what I've had today. So a pretty successful day. A little bit of tomato sauce and some artificial sweetener in my cream cheese fluff, but that's good enough for me. And it's not going to be something I have every day. So generally, I'm not going to worry about that.
All right, there you go. That's Marshall for you. Thanks. We'll see you guys next time. Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here. It is Thursday, which is day 4 of the new Carnivore Challenge with Marshall Latham, the new 30 days. It was a good day today. Well, it was mostly a good day today. I don't know. I went out this morning and went to the store, and while I was at Walmart, I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to get me some pork rinds, or cracklins actually is what they were, but got myself some cracklins, and I ate the entire bag while I was out and about. That can't be good. That, I don't know. I mean, it's just fried pork skin, so it should be fine, right? But I don't know what it is, but eating that, and I don't know, but I have a craving or a addiction, I don't know what I'm looking for, but a compulsion to eat pork rinds just too often. Can't be good. I don't trust pork rinds. They come in a bag. I think that might be the deal. They can't be good for you, like real meat is. But anyways, I did that in the morning, and then I took with me some meat, some ground beef that I just cooked up, and I took that to work, and I had that, and that was good, and that was the food that I ate for the day. I don't know, I've been having some really bad gas pains recently. I'm not sure what the heck that's about. I used to get them frequently when I was being bad, but I hadn't gotten them, in the past month. But I'm wondering if it might have been when I ate the meatballs, because I did see they have like 4 grams of carbs for something like 5 meatballs. And they had breadcrumbs as one of their like top 4. I want to say it's like the 4th ingredient. So, get that in there with the bacteria, and maybe they just start fermenting some stuff. But yeah, it hurts. And it's not going away. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but it's really frustrating. I don't know. Maybe I have some kind of diverticulitis or something. I hope not, but I don't know what the deal is. So that's what's going on with me. I will, let's head over to see what Marshall's up to.
I started off this morning, there was some sausage links left, so I cut those up, chopped them up, and put them in some scrambled eggs, 4 scrambled eggs, and I had that on my way to work for breakfast. That was really good. For lunch, I took some summer sausage and cut it up and had a bunch of cheese with it. I also took a couple pieces of Baby Bell cheese, which was pretty good. I haven't had that in a while, so I enjoyed that. Again, my intention is not to eat in the evening, to stop eating around 1 or 2 o'clock, depending on when I start eating, and then to come home and not eat anything. But again, tonight I came home and I was hungry. So I ended up eating some pork skins or pork rinds, and I had a little bit of ham that was in the fridge. I had some cheese, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. It's all part of the carnivore diet. I'm not cheating or eating the wrong things. But in my mind, my goal was to
to do this intermittent fasting every day, and I'm not sticking to it. So that kind of bums me out a little bit. But I think I just need to eat more during the day. Maybe I need to have something else with my scrambled eggs and meat that I have for breakfast, or have something really big for lunch. And then I'll probably be satisfied and I won't want to eat or feel like I'm hungry later in the evening. So that's how it's going for me. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still doing good. I'm still doing the Carnivore Challenge. I still feel good, and I'm still losing weight and all that kind of stuff. So I shouldn't get down on it. I'm just trying to do more this time around than I did last time around, and I just need to figure that out. So I'll work on that again some more tomorrow.
All right, there you go. That's Marshall for you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey folks, it is Friday, and it is day 5 of the new Carnivore Challenge with Marshall Latham. And it was a pretty good day today. Still dealing with those gas pains, and I just tried to eat stuff that might help, I don't know, loosen up the works down there or something like that, although I'm not really having a problem with that, so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But all the same, I ate a bunch of butter just in case it helped. What else did I have? I ate some ham, some just lunch meat slices of ham. And then I made eggs with chorizo in them. 6 eggs and half a thing of chorizo mixed into it. That was pretty tasty. And then I made some sausage. Took the sausage and I cooked it up, and I didn't eat the whole thing. I don't even know how much there was in it, but I ate till I was full. And I was planning on maybe eating some ground beef at work if I got hungry, but I never got hungry, so that's all I ate for the day, was just that. And we'll see. Hopefully these gas pains work themselves out and go away soon, because it's rough. I'm not enjoying myself with that. I'm not sure what the heck is behind it, which is one of the more frustrating things. But hopefully it doesn't stick around, because that's also very frustrating. It's painful. Hurts. Anyways, that's my deal for Friday. What's Marshall Latham up to? Let's go see.
I didn't go to work today. I did some things with family, and took the day off. So I spent a lot of time at home, and you'll see. I may have eaten more than I should have. For the most part, I stayed within the guidelines, but and I definitely didn't go off the rails. So for breakfast, I started off with scrambled eggs and some sausage. I just cooked up about a half a pound of sausage in a frying pan, and then put the eggs in there and scrambled them up. And that was really good. Enjoyed that quite a bit for breakfast. For lunch, so we were out and about, and my daughter wanted to get some Subway. And you can get what they call, I can't remember what they call them now. Protein bowls or something like that at Subway. They're really expensive for what you get. It's like you take the meat out of a 6-inch sub, and they put it in a bowl and mix it up. You can get, veggies or whatever else you want in there, just not the bread. So I didn't want Subway. I don't think that's enough food for me. So I let my wife and daughter get Subway. My wife did get the protein bowl with some cucumbers and peppers and things like that in there, and ate that. But I said, well, if we're going to eat out, I'm going to go over to Wendy's. So I went over to Wendy's, got a Baconator without the bun, without anything else, just the burger patties and the cheese and the bacon. So there's 2 patties with cheese on both and bacon on both. And it's pretty good. And yeah, I don't know if it's because it's a newer Wendy's or what, but it took a while to convince them that I didn't want the bun. I didn't want anything else. And they put it in a little bowl thing, you know, so it was easy to eat out of. And and I've had it before and I liked it. I wonder about the cheese though. Is it garbage cheese? Is it the, you know, or is it real cheese? It's probably not real cheese, right? So it's probably not very good to make a habit out of eating that all the time for carnivore. So later on in the day, when I was home, I cooked up some of that shrimp scampi, which is just shrimp and butter. And I guess it has some wine and some water in there too. But anyway, cooked that up. That was really, oh, there's garlic and stuff like that in there. And that tasted really good. And my wife and I shared that. And I just have a tiny little bit of that left. Yeah, I enjoyed that. So what did I do? How did I go off the rails? I didn't go off the rails. There's this drink place that a friend of mine started up. And him and his wife run it. And they have some other employees too. And I've been really supporting them. But it's no good for me at all. It's basically sodas, you know, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, whatever else. You can get diet, but anyway, and then they put other flavors in there. And it's really good. And they have lemonade and stuff, but they also have soda water. So my wife and daughter wanted to go over to Scipio and get some of that. And like I said, I've been a supporter of Scipio. And I was not going to get anything. I was just going to let them order something and go home. But I decided to try out the soda water. So I had, you know, the soda water with some flavoring in it. Now the flavoring might have some sugar in it. I'm going to have to ask my friend exactly what brand they use and what's in it, because there's probably a little bit of sugar in the flavoring or chemicals in the flavoring or whatever that really is not part of carnivore, right? But I did have that and it tasted pretty good. It was, but, you know, not as good as a Mountain Dew, right? Or a lemonade with that, because you don't get the sugar. But it tasted good enough. It was, you know, pretty much flavored water. And I think there's some products out there that are at least keto friendly, that the little flavor packets you can put in your water kind of thing. It's probably not carnivore friendly. I don't know. If it doesn't have carbs, well, anyway, it's not animal based. So I'm going in too much overboard. These are supposed to be short. So the only other thing I had was I did have some pork rinds, a few pork rinds. I don't know how many are throughout the day, and I did have another little tiny jar of cream cheese fluff. And I'll talk about that later, but that's it. That's what I had. So, you know, I ate more than usual, I think, and I definitely didn't stay in my eating window that I was trying to do with the intermittent fasting. But yeah, that's what I did for day number 5.
All right. Thanks, Marshall. All right. We'll see you guys next time. All right. So there you go. Some interesting things going on in there, I think. One of the things that I think is interesting is Marshall complaining of his headache that first or second, I think it was the first day, maybe the second day that he started. Must have been the second day. Anyways, yeah, you know, he was thinking that he didn't think it had anything to do with what he ate, or that maybe it had to do with what he ate before, because he took about 4 days off of carnivore, in which he said he ate cookies one day, and you know, it was Easter on Sunday, so who knows what he indulged in and didn't tell us about. Anyways, when you eat carbs, well, first of all, when you don't eat carbs, it puts you in ketosis. Ketosis is a different sort of setup for your body to make energy for itself, to use energy. And that's what it's like when you're eating carnivore. Now, if you go off of carnivore, you will come out of ketosis. And when you're out of ketosis, you have to get back into ketosis. There's this thing called the Keto Flu, which a lot of people will report having all sorts of various aches and pains and whatnot when they first start out keto or carnivore. And it tends to be something that comes from not having the right levels of electrolytes in your diet. Because when you start up keto, you dump a lot of water, which takes a lot of salt with it, and other electrolytes. And so you need to get a lot of extra electrolytes. And so you got to have a lot of salt sometimes when you're first starting out in carnivore. And I'm guessing Marshall didn't do that, and that's probably why he had a headache. That's something to think about, Marshall. Anytime that you are feeling crappy, have some salt. Have a big pinch of it, maybe 2 or 3, and get yourself hopefully feeling a little better. Get things working right the way they're supposed to. So I was having problems as well. Meatballs. I ate those meatballs, and from then on out, I was feeling like garbage. And like I said, the one of the first ingredients, I guess it was, I think ingredient number 4, was breadcrumbs. And I don't think it was enough to knock me out of keto, but it was enough to throw my digestive system for a loop. All that bacteria in there that so much wanted some carbs to ferment really took off, really did their thing. And so, gosh, I don't know what the deal was, man. It just would not stop. It took, I mean, this is me from the future, a couple days past even day 5. I think it took a full week before my stomach finally stopped hurting. There was one point where I was just laying there on the bed, and my wife looked at my stomach and was wondering, is it flatter than it used to be? And she reaches out and pushes on it. Holy crap, that hurt so bad. She didn't know that I had like terrible, like pain in my stomach from gas or whatever. And so she wasn't trying to hurt me, but man, did she. It was not cool. It's one of those things that happens. I remember in 2019 when I was doing this, and the first time I cheated a little bit, and it gave me really bad gas pains, and really, I just felt like garbage for a while. And I used that as something to help me never want to cheat again, because I would just think, what will happen to me? The time that I did it, it was something small that I ate, like this time when I just had some meatballs. But what would happen to me if I ate worse, if I had sugar, etc.? What digestive pains would I get? And yeah, didn't want to know. Something else, Marshall. I mean, you mentioned you had like 3 pieces of bacon, and I hear that and I think, what? 3 pieces of bacon? What? That's not enough. Of course, you said you were saving it for some of it for your family, but that may be something you want to think about. I think you did mention that when you're talking about your fasting, is that maybe you just need to eat more. And that's definitely the case. Eat more and eat fattier stuff. Skip the chicken breast and eat, red meat. Eat bacon. Eat stuff that's good and fatty. Eat butter. Put butter onto things. Butter onto your steak or onto your bacon. That's good too. If you've never tried that, give it a shot. Yeah, just, get lots of fat and eat a lot. You should eat until you feel full. And, sometimes it takes some practice to figure out that you do feel full, because, we're so used to limiting ourselves just by some stupid portion control crap. Like, you should eat a bit of meat that's the size of your palm. No, you should eat meat until you're full. And then you'll be full until you're hungry again. And then you eat again. And eat until you're full. And that is the way to really control your appetite and to feel good. You'll be full all day long. You'll feel pleasantly, you'll never feel, grumpy. You won't get hangry or any of that kind of crap that comes normally from dieting, because this isn't really a diet. This is just eating the proper human nutrition, or proper human diet, as Dr. Berry likes to call it, a PhD. And yeah, with your eating window, that takes some time to get used to. But make sure you eat a lot during that eating window, and you'll be fine outside of that eating window. And also, one thing that you want to do as far as fasting goes, even in your eating window, you should have windows. You only want to eat when it's a mealtime. So, say you're doing a 6-hour eating window and you're going to eat right at the start of the 6 hours. So eat a meal, a big meal, all the way until you're full. And then in between, don't eat snacks. Don't eat almonds or anything else in between until it's time for your next meal. And then eat the meal, and that will give you even more time with lower insulin in the middle of that. You don't really need to be snacking if you're eating proper nutrition, proper human diet. You'll be full, and so you won't feel the need. The only reason you'll be eating snacks is because you're bored, and that's not what food is for. Food is not entertainment. It's only fuel, and it's something everybody got to learn, I guess. It's good to hear that you don't have any dairy problems. I don't think I had dairy problems when I began. I know I had a lot of cheese back in 2019 when I first started doing carnivore. I would put cheese on most everything, and I felt like I was doing fine. But over the years since then, I think I came to realize that dairy was actually causing me some issues after all. I didn't think it was causing me issues, but it was. Like I've always had really dry skin, for example. And I assumed eating lots of fat was going to make that go away, but it didn't. It didn't go away at all. But then later, just recently when I switched over, when we started this all, I had really, my back was so dry, and I was begging my wife to put lotion on it all the time. And then we switched over and started eating right, and I stopped drinking milk and I started eating fat, and my back was no longer dry whatsoever. And it was weird. It was almost like overnight. I barely, just one day I was always bugged by it, and then the next day I wasn't. And you don't really think about that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this doesn't hurt anymore, or isn't irritating anymore, Sometimes it's hard to notice. Hard to notice that you're not feeling something, whereas when you feel it, yeah, you notice. That's different. Egg problems, by the way, there are a lot of people that have egg problems, that are allergic to eggs or the stuff that's in eggs. I think it's mostly the white part of the eggs that people are allergic to. So if you do have problems with eggs, then you can try just eating the yolk. But yeah, it's not as benign as you might think, Marshall. Anyways, yeah, we've been at it for a while, and so far, none of us has eaten head cheese. We're sardines. What's going on here? I guess we've got 25 more days left in the challenge, but I don't even know where you find head cheese. I don't think it can be. I'm going to have to go to a specialty store just to get head cheese, just the head cheese shop. There's a cheese shop and there's a head shop, but is there a head cheese shop? I don't know about that. I'm not very interested in trying steakums with you, especially after your little review of them. The smell of the steakums raunching up the place, just, I don't know what's up with that, but that sounds awful. So, I don't know, we'll skip the steakums and just have steak, which I suppose is what steakums is supposed to be, just thinly sliced steak, but I think you must have just got an old batch of it or something like that. I don't know. It's weird, but fresh meat's always better. Whatever, that's one of those things that they say. If it comes in a box, then, or in a bag, or something like that, you should probably skip it. Although that does also include pork rinds, which I am not very trusting of, so. In both cases, I guess, I don't believe that they're probably right, although I do like pork rinds. I don't know. I don't want to give them up, but I probably should. Anyways, As far as your Scipio thing with the flavors, I mean, that stuff is up to you, Marshall. It's all up to your ability to deal with stuff. You know, anybody watching these videos, it's all up to your ability. There's no hard and fast rules. You know, like he was saying, he can handle cheese. I can't. So I don't eat cheese. At least now I'm not. I finally got myself able to do it. I love cheese just like Marshall does. And I would eat it all the time before, thinking, oh yeah, this is good. But cheese also has a tendency to be, you know, the first step down the slippery slope for me. You know, I have cheese, and then the next thing you know, I'm having bread. So, and then I'm having candy bars and soda. So, yeah, I figure it's probably best to just steer clear of cheese for me for many reasons. And yeah, it's the same thing with these flavors. If you think that you're fine with artificial sweeteners, that it's not going to cause you to, you know, go off the rails and then have non-artificial sweeteners, then you're probably okay with it. It's not going to kill you, or maybe it will. I don't know if there's been studies that say that it does. I'm sure it's not good for you. All of these freaking artificial sweeteners can't be particularly good for you, but I don't know if I mean, there's no calories in them, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Plenty of people have those kind of things, so, you know, you got to figure it out on your own. Try it or don't, you know, whatever, but, you know, if you try it and see that you're not making progress, suddenly your weight loss stops, then stop it. You know, don't do it anymore. You know, it's all, you know, you set it up yourself. You customize it. It's like, what is it, Liberty Mutual, where you only pay for what you need. You customize. I hate those commercials. I'm so freaking tired of them. Anyways, you know, you talk a lot about the evil plants. You know, it sounds like you're really worried about the plants being evil, like, you know, you can't believe that or whatever. And, you know, you want to eat something that's animal based, you know, and that's still just the same with the customizable thing. You know, if you can handle it, then you can handle it. There's lots of different ways to do it. There's keto, there's ketovore, carnivore, there's, I don't know, lion diet, which I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between that and, you know, a regular carnivore diet, but there's that, you know, all sorts of different versions of it. I know one keto guy who's always talking about how you should eat honey. I guess honey's made by animals, so it's animal based, although insects, are they still in the animal kingdom, or is that a separate kingdom? I think that's separate, right? I don't know. Anyways, no, yeah, they're just plant, animal, and fungus, so they're animals, so it counts. They're, you know, branched off a little earlier than mammals, but anyways, yeah, you know, you just, the real thing, the most important thing about the carnivore diet and any of these kind of things is that what you're trying to do is eat whole foods, real foods, not processed foods. Processed foods are the things that are really killing us all. So if you're eating, you know, a carrot, it's probably better than eating pasta, you know, or maybe even steakums. I don't know where those fall in that. But, you know, the stuff that's processed, eating top ramen or eating a Swanson's TV dinner or whatever, you know, those things are processed. They're full of garbage. They're full of seed oils, which are the worst things for you. They're full of, you know, that kind of terrible stuff. And that's the stuff that's most important to avoid. If we were all to just dump processed foods completely, this world would be so much more healthy and happy. And that's what, you know, the main thrust is of carnivore diet. It's eating whole foods and especially just getting the nutrition that you need your body needs nutrition, and this processed foods and stuff that we eat these days doesn't give us anything. Barely gives us anything that we need. We're basically just burning sugar, and that's it. And so that is the deal. You know, the plants aren't evil. Yeah, there are things obviously in them, because plants, that's how they protect themselves, is by filling themselves with compounds that are harmful to those that might eat them. They're going to be much more harmful for bugs, because, that's what most of those plant compounds that harm us are for, is to kill the bugs that are trying to eat them, or to keep the bugs from attacking them. And we're way bigger than bugs, so we can handle that stuff a little better. But, certain people can only handle certain things. I'm allergic to shrimp, which has nothing to do with it. I don't know how that one works, but, lots of people are allergic to tomatoes, for example, the evil tomatoes that you scoffed at. Tons of people have problems with nightshades, which tomatoes are a part of. And so, sometimes you just got to avoid things. Once you finish maybe this carnivore challenge, try bringing things back slowly. See if you have an issue with tomatoes. See if you have an issue with other things. I don't know, Rish Outfield, my podcast co-host, he has an allergy to onions. And he hates them because of that. He thinks they're awful. I love them. They taste great. They make things taste really good when you mix them in. But, they make him feel terrible. And so he doesn't eat them. And I think that there's a lot more things like that are out there. And, if you do things right, even with plants, as long as you, eat them in their season and don't concentrate them and stuff like that. Don't drink juice, eat a fruit, that kind of stuff, you'd probably be okay. Our bodies have mechanisms to get rid of oxalates, for example. But only if we only give them enough oxalates that they can handle. If we overdose on the oxalates, then they can't get rid of them all. That's one thing that I think I'm getting. I'm always having, kind of, not eye boogers, but it feels almost just like salt gathered up here, crystals or something. I think it's oxalates that's coming out. I know that out through your eyes is one of the places that your body pushes out the oxalates. And when you stop eating them, your body starts getting rid of them. And so, that's kind of the way it goes with that. You got to take some time off from the oxalates to get rid of the oxalates that you have had before your body can handle more of them. It's always trying to dump them because they're real bad for you. And we have a way to dump them, but, got to give it a chance. Anyways, I think that's about all I got to say about that. So I'll let you guys go. We'll call this a show. And we'll be back again soon with another 5-day report on the Marshall versus Big Anklevich 2. I don't know. I want to say Paquiao for some reason. I know that there's been several fights between Paquiao and somebody else, part 1, part 2, etc. Anyways, that's what we got going on here. The Carnivore Challenge. 2 men enter, only 1 leaves. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching Big Anklevich on Hell.